everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we get started, show of the week is Hamilton, because when a tin pot dictator or wannabe dictator gets overthrown by democracy, that musical hits different. So I will link it below. You probably already know of its existence and have probably already heard of it, but I don't care, listen to it again. It's great. Today we're going to be talking a bit about resting jobs, and this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a while, but seeing as we are in lockdown 2, Electric Boogaloo, it seemed like now was as good a time as any to get around to this topic. And that topic is going to be network marketing, multi-level marketing, MLMs, because we're all looking for work right now. All of our performing work has been more or less taken away. The job market is kind of stagnating as well, so we're all looking for ways to earn that coin, make some income, pay our bills. But not all employment opportunities are created equal. There are some opportunities that are very much pay to play, and network marketing is one of those. Now, I actually do know some people who are affiliated with MLMs or multi-level marketing companies, and I'm not here to bash any of those people or tell you that, you know, what you do with your own money is wrong or anything like that. Like, it's your life, do what you want. However, I know there are some people who will be sucked into these opportunities and not realize what they're actually letting themselves in for, especially because MLMs aren't as prevalent in the UK as they are in the US. And the reason I want to make this video is because I think actors are going to be a prime target for recruiters right now. We've lost our performing work. The kind of jobs that we would usually do for resting jobs, which tend to be in things like hospitality, ushering, bar work, restaurants. Hardly anyone is hiring in those sectors. So we are in need of work. That makes us a target for recruiters looking to recruit people into their downlines because, you know, you need work. I've got this business opportunity. And the big selling point of being an MLM is that you can run your own business and be your own business owner, which I'll get onto that in a second. But that's going to be really appealing, especially for us as actors, having something that can be flexible so we don't have to feel like we're giving up. That's going to be really emotionally appealing to us. I know the thought of going into like a 9-to-5 is scary for actors because it's not as flexible as what we're used to and how we need to be to pursue our careers. So that's why I feel that this video is something that I want to put on my channel, just to make you guys aware of it so you can make informed decisions about work that you are considering. Yeah, so I'm just going to share my thoughts on it, why I don't buy it, why I am personally am not interested, the reservations that I have that have made me come to the decision that multi-level marketing will never be for me, not interested. I will link some information and resources down below. So Tiffany Ferg, who is a great YouTuber, she did a whole video about the basic premise of multi-level marketing and how it works and why it's not great. And she also did a follow-up video with her sister, who actually was into multi-level marketing companies before actually starting her own business. There's also a channel called Kiki Chanel who exposes all of the shady stuff that American consultants in American MLM companies do to recruit and sell their products, which is just a whole other hot mess, which I personally won't be getting to in this video, but I think it is something else to consider, is the ethics of these companies you're potentially going to be representing. There's also a YouTuber that I've recently found called Emily D. Baker, who is a lawyer, and she's done a couple of podcasts doing deep dives into lawsuits from a particular multi-level marketing company. All of these videos are linked down below. Definitely go check them out. Not that they need my help, because they're way bigger than my channel is. So how do multi-level marketing companies work? Consultants buy stock or inventory from the company that they're representing, and then they have to resell that stock to consumers. When you join one of these companies, you don't earn a wage or a salary. All of your income comes from the profits made from those resales. The other way you can earn income is by recruiting people into your downline, so recruiting people under you, and then that way you can get commission on either the inventory that they buy from the company, so when they buy inventory you get a commission on those purchases, or you can get commission off of their sales. So whatever they sell, you get a commission on top of that. So that's basically how multi-level marketing works and how you earn money in it. So because there is an advantage to recruiting people under you, especially if you're not a good salesperson, you can just be like, well, I can just recruit people to sell instead. You can end up with this kind of triangular reverse funnel shape that looks kind of like something else, potentially, where you have a few people at the top of the triangular reverse funnel and a lot of people at the bottom of the triangular reverse funnel. And this is a problem, especially if a company gets to a point where a lot of people are being recruited. It grows exponentially if everyone is recruiting. So very, very quickly you get to the population of the entire world. In theory, obviously in practice, you get to saturation point far sooner because there are going to be some people who would never buy into it, or there's going to be some markets in other countries that you're never going to reach. So it's an unsustainable kind of finite system in terms of the recruiting structure of it. But if you get approached by one of these companies, you might think, well, the company isn't that big in the UK, for example, so there isn't going to be a lot of competition with the number of people who've been recruited and different sales reps. And I don't even have to recruit if I don't want to. I could just concentrate on sales. Concentrate on sales and have my own sales business selling this product. What's the problem? Which is what I'm going to talk about now. The problem I have with MLMs is that it's not your business. They sell you this idea that you're going to be a boss babe, you're like going to have your own business, you're going to be an entrepreneur. When you own your own business, you choose what you sell, you choose your supplier, where you're going to get it from, you choose or figure out what your target demographic is going to be. You choose how much stock you want, you choose how much you want to invest, you decide the name of the company, you decide the branding, you decide the logo, you decide how you're going to distribute. You have control over everything, including having control of the risk, because you don't have an external person saying how much you have to invest. If you only want to spend and invest £50 because that's all you can afford to invest, you can. You're going to start very, very small, but you can do that. With an MLM, you have no control over any of those things. If the buy-in for an MLM is £300, you have to spend that £300 or you don't get to start this business at all. There's no option to buy less stock and decrease the risk, but still be able to sell it. Oh, something's popping off. The MLMs are coming for me. No! If the consumers think that the product you're selling is too expensive, you can't either go to a different supplier that can supply the same goods cheaper so you can keep your overheads, or find a supplier that has better quality products so you can justify the price to your consumers. If the market for the product is oversaturated, for example, if there are a lot of sellers in your area selling the same thing, you can't pivot into a new niche. You have no control over your business. You just get what you're given and you have to make it work. You have to make whatever the company gives you work. And if it's not working, you can't switch it up. And you might think, well, that's great. I don't have to do any of the hard work of coming up with a concept and finding my target demographic and doing marketing because it's already an established brand and all of the hard work of being a business owner. I can just concentrate on the sales. And that's fine. Then be a salesperson. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're a salesperson, shouldn't you be paid an hourly wage for your work? If you're a salesperson for a company and you're representing that company and giving them free publicity, basically, by shilling their stuff, shouldn't you be provided product rather than having to buy it from them? Make it make sense. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I was like, you know what, I want to go into sales and I wanted to work as a salesperson for, I don't know, Nissan, I wouldn't expect to buy cars and then sell them at a higher resale price. I don't go to the Nissan warehouse as like, I'll get 50 cars, please. And then I'll just try and sell them on Facebook. Like, no, it's just not how it works. Like when you're a salesperson, that's not how it works. You're paid by a company to sell their shizzle. Usually you get paid a kind of crap standard wage and then you get commission if you're very good at sales and you can make a lot of money through commission, but you still get something for the work you put in, right? That's how I see it. For me, this is the crux of the issue, because this is how they sell you the fact that you need to buy in. It's like, oh, you're investing in your own business. Whenever you start a business, you need to invest money. And that is true. If I wanted to set up a boutique clothes shop, there would be overheads. That completely makes sense. Emily D. Baker put this the best way when she was talking about the MLM lawsuit. Like I said, I'll link those videos below. If any amount of money is going to be a significant investment, the kind of investment where you're like, oh, that's a lot of money, this is not just like a throwaway amount, then you should invest that in yourself. You shouldn't give that to an external company that you have no like equity or stake in. If you buy into an MLM and that MLM decides to cease trading for whatever reason, you then have nothing to show for it, because you haven't built up your own business that you can then take on and do other things. Yeah, you could finish selling your remaining stock, but then after that, what do you have? You don't have a website or a Facebook page or an Instagram page. You don't have a service or a product that you can carry on selling afterwards. So if we're talking about significant investments of money where it makes you kind of stop and be like, do I really want to do this? Don't give it to an MLM. Invest in your own idea of a company, or invest that money in an actual investment, in a savings bond or in an ISA or something. Obviously, if the onboarding is not a significant amount of money to you and you're just like, yeah, try it out, then like, it's your money, do what you want. I still think it's dumb, and I wouldn't personally, but I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. But you shouldn't just be giving large amounts of money in buy-ins just to random companies where if anything happens, you'll have nothing to show for that investment. There are more reasons why I think you shouldn't be involved with these companies, but I'll link those videos below to people who've already said that stuff, because the internet doesn't need loads of people repeating themselves. There's far too much of that at the moment. So if you are still considering joining an MLM, maybe you've been approached by someone already and you're thinking about investing in the buy-in, here's some advice. Firstly, ask to see their income disclosures and look at what percentage of consultants are in what income brackets. You'll most likely find that only 1% or less of the company's consultants are in the top income tier in the income disclosure, and that the vast majority of the people who are consultants for the company will be earning the minimum amount that is reflected in those income disclosures. Also bear in mind that these income disclosures do not take into account how much people have paid into the company through buying inventory, etc. So many people in the company might actually be losing money, be making a net loss on their business. So that's also something to bear in mind that won't be reflected in the income disclosures. Secondly, look at the product that you'll be selling and the amount you'd have to sell it for to make a profit, and think, is there a market for this in my area? Is the price for this competitive? And is this something that I can sell? Remember that we are in the middle of a pandemic and job security is volatile, so many people are going to be cutting back on luxury and non-essential purchases, which is what the majority of products in MLM companies are. So if the pricing isn't competitive, then that's something to take into account. Because at the end of the day, if a product is overpriced in the eyes of the consumer, it's going to be harder for you to sell, and then it'll be harder for you to make money. And thirdly, I would strongly urge you to consider whether there is anything else you can do. The gig economy is brutal. I'm not saying that working for LulaRoe, for example, would be a bed of roses, but with those kind of gig jobs, at least you know you'll be paid per hour or per delivery or per task that's done. You know that you will be paid something for your labor or your time, even if it's not that much. And if there are any upfront costs, for example, buying a bike so you can deliver fast food, or buying tools so you can do like handyman stuff on task apps, at least you know that that's a one-time upfront purchase that whatever you need to buy is then yours that you can keep. Even if you don't want to go through the faff of starting your own business, there are so many other little giggy things that you can do for money, you know. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it informative. We're all looking for work. Love job hunting. We hate job hunting, but it needs to be done. But if you are currently looking for work, whether that is acting work, because there is a few acting jobs coming back up slowly but surely, or normal jobs, just make sure that your need to find income at the moment doesn't stop you from doing your due diligence. For either resting jobs or acting jobs, anything that involves pay to play is a red flag. Always ask mentally in your head, why do these people need my money for me to have access to this opportunity? The thing that worries me is that there are going to be a lot of people now who are probably getting to the stage where they're just like, I need a way to make money, and I don't want anyone to be exploited either deliberately by malicious people who just don't care, or exploited because they don't fully understand and look into what they're actually getting themselves into before handing over a ton of money and then realizing, oh no, wait, I can't make this work. So that's where this video is coming from. Although I have my own bias against MLMs, I would never shame someone for joining one, but I would feel awful if someone joined one not realizing what it was they were signing up for and then ended up handing over money that they can't really afford to hand over, thinking that they were going to be able to make it back, and then them struggling to do that. That's what I don't want to happen to anyone, and that's why I wanted to make this video. Like I said, there's so much more to MLMs and why, you know, they're questionable to many people. So I will link resources, videos, information in the description below for you to look at if you are interested. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Would love to have you on the channel. Stay tuned for more theatre content from a UK perspective, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye friends!